Good evening, everybody. My name is Zain Agha, and I'm from zwinnerforex.com. Today, I'm going to teach you how to trade the news profitably. The data coming out of each country, which affects the currency market, and how to use those data and how to make money. First of all, let me read you a disclaimer. The material that is provided that I'm going to teach you today is only for educational purpose. Now remember, forex trading carries a high level of risk. If you decide to trade, do not invest more than you can easily afford to lose, and seek advice from a registered professional before you trade. If you have money for your retirement, you have saved some money for your retirement, do not use it. If you have to pay your mortgage, do not use that money for trading. Use only the money that you can easily afford to lose, because there are about 5 to 10% traders who make money, and the rest of them they lose. That's why it's very important to bear in mind that if you are trading, use only the money that you can easily afford to lose. Okay, now let us get that out of the way and to come to the crunch. Lots of my students, they write to me and they say they want to become a full-time professional trader. Okay, now how to become a full-time professional forex trader? The only way you can become a professional is by trading the forex news. And to trade the forex news, you need the news FX strategy. That is what I'm going to teach you today. And if you want to go into greater detail, then you can buy this system, the strategy, for half the price, because at the end of the webinar, I'm going to give you a 50% bonus if you want to buy today. Okay, let's proceed ahead. Now, every day of the month, Monday to Friday, excluding bank holidays, there is some form of news and data release by the governments of every country. We are only interested in the news released by the governments of USA, UK, European Union, Australia, Canada, Switzerland, and New Zealand. We do not touch the Japanese news at the moment. We used to, but not anymore, because the Bank of Japan and the Japanese government, they interfere a lot. So we do not use the Japanese news unless it's something very extraordinary. Now you can get the dates and the time of these economic data releases on this website. Is called forexfactory.com. Now when you go to their website, you will come to a page which is the calendar, which gives you something like this, and gives you first of all the date here. Now this one is for the 2nd of December on Monday, and this is the time, what time the news is coming out. Now what I have here is a GMT, because I live in UK, I use GMT. And if you are in USA or if any other country, you can set the times according to your country. There is an option. By default, all the times are set in Eastern time, and then you can change it, like I have changed it from Eastern to GMT. Now in this column you have the currencies. What currencies is it going to affect and from which country? So this is Australian dollar, the euro, European Union, Swiss franc, again European Union, and the British pound, US dollar, and if you go down, they got Japanese yen, New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar, that's the Chinese, and this is the Japanese and Australian dollar again. So this shows you which currency is just going to affect the news from that country. Now we also have here for our guidance the impact. What impact does that news carry on the forex market? When you see a red color icon here, that means the impact is very high. And if it's orange color, that means the impact is medium. And if it's a yellow colored, that means the impact isn't that much. It doesn't make much difference. And then here is the actual news, the data which is going to come out. It's on this column. Like we have the commodity prices, the Italian manufacturing PMI, and the GBP UK manufacturing PMI, and then we have Fed Chairman Bernanke speaks, so on and on and on. Okay, now if you want to go into much more detail, here is an icon. You click on that icon, a new window will open, and it will explain you what that news is about and how it affects the currency market. You have three columns here. In the previous one, that is last month's, and then the forecast, and then the actual. So when we have here the previous month, and then we have economists of those countries, they sit together and then they decide and they calculate what is to expect. So then they put in the forecast. So this is what it's expected at 51.3, for example. And this is what it comes out, the actual. Okay. Now, if you see the actual red color, that means it's not good for that currency. And if you see it in green color, it means it's good for that currency. When you see the red, it means the market is going to go down, that the euro pairs are going to go down. And when you see is green, that means this pair, this like Swiss franc, is going to go up against other currencies. So you have to look at the colors which come out. Okay, I will go into detail later on, and let's proceed further. There are 4 different ways to trade the news, and I'm going to show you all of them. The first one is called straddle, and the second one, you trade 2 different pairs, and then you third one is trade after the news, when you see what the news came out, and the fourth one is let the robots trade for you. Okay, now I have made a robot that trades the currencies, and at the end of the webinar I am going to explain you about this robot. Plus you will get, if you wish to buy it, I will give you a link at the end of the webinar. You can buy it at a special price of 20% discount. So let's go to the first strategy, which is this one, strategy number 1, the straddle. Now what we do for straddling, we supposing this is the news which is going to come out at 10:30. What we do, we first look, market is here, we look for the support and the resistance. So this is the support and this is the resistance. So we make a note of the support and the resistance. So a few minutes before the news is out, we place our pending orders. You place your sell order here, okay, at this price 1.7331. Stop loss is always 10 pips, okay, not more than 10 pips. And then you will put a sell order here, pending order, and you'll put a buy pending order here at this price. Okay, now here is the market, and as soon as we get the 10:30 GMT, the Bank of England's report is out. I think this is the price at that time. The report is very good and favorable for the currency, so the market starts going up. So this is 1 minute candles. Each candle is 1 minute. After a minute, another candle opens, goes up, and you get filled up here. Your order gets filled up, goes up, comes back down, goes up and up and up and up. Okay, so you enter the market here. Now I'm going to show you how to exit. Okay, right. Now this is the same chart which I have enlarged it, and what you have to do once you are in the trade, turn your chart into 5 minutes, because when you were trading on the 1 minute chart. Once your order gets filled in, remove the other order, and then you continue until you see the exit signal, and I will show you how to exit. Okay, now this is where you placed your pending order, and this is your sell order, and this is where you placed your pending buy order. So the buy order got filled in, so you remove the sell order. Okay, and you have turned your chart into 5 minutes. This is another news. Showing you the entries first. Exits I'll show you later. This is a GBP USD, and this is the British CPI. It's due at 9:30 GMT. Okay. Now at 9:10 we notice that this is the resistance and here is the support. So what we do, we place about our pending orders here, here, and here anytime before the actual news is out. Okay, so we place buy order here and we place the sell order here. So as soon as the news comes out, the market goes down, your order gets filled in, and you are going down, 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 down. Okay, and to exit, to find out the best place to close your trade, is that you should have a MACD. Yeah, you should have a MACD. Default is 12 29 12 26 9. Okay, and which will have two lines, plus it's got histogram. So you stay in the trade as long as the histogram bars are below the zero line. This is the zero line. When you see the very first bar above the zero line, that's where you close your trade. This is where at the end, at the close of this blue candle, you got the MACD histogram bar above the zero line. So you will close your trade here. Okay, and so this was your exit point. Okay, now I'm going to show you the second strategy. I'm going to show you the strategy 2. Now in this strategy we trade two different pairs. Okay, mostly this applies to the news which is concerned with the US dollar. Okay, so the US dollar, we implement this strategy, we shall trade Euro USD and USD Swiss franc on the 5 minute charts for all USD news. Okay, so on the 5 minute chart, what we will do, we will have two charts open, and we can either go long on both pairs or go short on both pairs. Now what happens if the Euro USD goes up, then the USD Swiss franc goes down, and if the USD Swiss franc goes up, then the Euro USD goes down. So you place either buy orders or sell orders on both of them at the same time and place a 10 pips stop loss, okay, and put it on the 5 minutes chart and put it also 5 minutes before the news. Here are the examples. I'm going to give you the examples, okay. It's a very good system and very easy as well, and you can make lots of money trading that way. Now here is the non-farm payroll data, which came out at 8:30 Eastern time, and you will see it's 2007. It's a long time ago. That's when this product was developed. Okay, so you place a buy order here with a 10 pip stop loss. Now what happens when the news came out? The buy order got filled in here. That's right, yeah. The buy order got filled in here, but the market went against you and you got stopped out with 10 pips. So you lost 10 pips, okay. So your loss was 10 pips plus 2 pips spread is 12 pips. So you lost 12 pips, okay. Now the next pair is on this pair. What you did was that you bought this one and you made a profit, and the market went up, and here you got the signal exit your trade, so you close your trade here. 80 pips. So this was a profit of 80 pips, and the less 5 pips spread because the Euro USD Swiss franc has 5 pips spread. It used to have in those days. I think it's gone down now. So you have 80 pips, take out 5 pips spread. That means you made 75 pips profit, but on the other side you made 12 pips loss. So if you take away 12 pips from 75, you will get 63 pips. So you get a 63 pips profit on this. Now what you did, you bought both pairs, Euro USD and USD Swiss franc. So you made loss on that one and profit on this one. Now suppose you were to sell instead of buying them, you are selling both of them. So you sold them, and what happened here, the market went up and your stop got hit, so you lost 10 pips on the Swiss franc USD Swissy, okay. And here on this one you sold here and order got filled in and you went down, and here is your exit. You close your trade here. So you place at 8:25 EST, 5 minutes before the news. This was your entry. The profit was 56 pips less 2 pips spread, so your profit was 54 pips, and you lost 10 pips plus 2 pips spread, 12 pips on the other pair. So you made 42 pips. So you got 42 pips here, okay. Now what you can do, you can put both of the charts side by side together like this one, okay. Now if you put a buy order here on the USD Swiss franc, and also a buy order here on the Euro USD, okay, with the 10 pips stop loss here and a 10 pips stop loss here. When the news comes out, the US dollar goes down, it hits your stop loss, you get stopped out, but here the euro goes up, so it goes up and up and up here. So this is your entry here, this is the stop loss. So it goes up and up and up and up to here, and you get the exit signal and you get out. So your profit is 47 pips net profit, okay. and that's $470. So this is the strategy 2, where we trade two pairs side by side, either buy both of them or sell both of them. Now we come to strategy 3. Now in strategy 3, we trade after the news. Okay, as I was explaining you, showing you the picture of the what the news is coming out on the Forex Factory. So this is what it is. Now this strategy is based upon the outcome of the news. You have to know what is the outcome of the news, whether it's favorable or unfavorable for the currency, and then you just enter the market. No need to have two brokers or place two trades in the opposite directions. Okay. Now for the straddling, I forgot to mention, in those days we could trade with one broker. We could do the hedging, buying as well as selling on the same pair. But nowadays in USA it's not allowed. So in that case, you need to open two accounts with either different brokers or even the same broker, but two accounts. So when you're straddling, you will place a buy order in one account and the sell order in the other account. So then you can, in that way, you will not break the law and you will be on your right path. So the previous two strategies were not concerned with the outcome of the news. No matter what the news is, we know that the price will go one way or the other. Therefore, we straddle and place our trades on both sides. We created a win-win situation. With strategy 3, we are not making any predictions or using judgments. We look for the numbers, and based upon those numbers, we place our trades. There are no technical indicators involved. Okay, now this is the Forex Factory chart. You will see I have taken some example from there. This is on Friday, 6th of April. And here you have the news, the non-farm payroll, and the unemployment rate, and the average hourly things. Okay, now what happens is 8 minutes before the news, what you do, you refresh your chart. So when you refresh, and if it's 8 minutes before, you will get these 3 green buttons. Okay, and you keep clicking these buttons and they will turn round and round and round until you will see news coming out. So there is a delay of about a minute or so. After a minute you get the news here. Okay, now let me go to the next one. So when you click on it, on this green button, you will see it's moving round and round and round and round. Okay, so as soon as the news comes out, we get our figures here. For example, we got the figure for the non-farm employment change, 180K. Okay, and the previous one was 97K, and the expected forecast was 135K. Now this came out, the deviation was very, very high. So the higher the deviation, the more that pair will move. Okay, so in that case it was very good for the US dollar, so the US dollar jumped up. Okay, now you also have to look at the other news because they are at the same time. The next news is the unemployment rate. Now the previous unemployment rate was 4.5%. The expectation was 4.6%, but the actual came out much better, even lower than the previous month. So that is another good indication for the US dollar to get strong. So therefore, both news are together in the same direction. So the market goes up and you can just take a long position. And if this is in the going north, and if this one is going south, that means if this is less than the worse, if it's in red color, that means it is worse than expected. And this is in green color, so it is better than expected. So in that case, there's a contradiction. Okay, one is telling you to go up, the other one is telling you to go down. In that case, you wait for about 5 minutes and see the market, which direction the market is going, and you enter your trade into that direction. Okay, now what news to trade? There are so many news coming out, but which ones to trade? Now I have made a note of some of the news. And what you can do, take a screenshot of this page, okay, and save it for your future use. For the US news, you trade the interest rates, FOMC reports, the non-farm payrolls, the trade balance, the current account, GDP, personal income, retail sales, consumer price index, and there's also manufacturers price index, and then durable goods and the home sales. Okay, new home sales or pending home sales or so many other home sales. You get about 3 or 4 of them. Okay, now for these you will always get them a red impact, high impact, red icons on the Forex Factory website. Okay, now here is the news that you trade for the UK and Canada. Okay, so for the UK news, you trade the interest rates statements, the trade balance, CPI, manufacturing PMI, retail sales, current account, and GDP. Now, if you were to trade the Canadian news, you trade the interest rate statements, the GDP, trade balance, retail sales, and CPI. Okay, so you've got 3 different countries. Now let's come to this one, to the Eurozone news. In the Eurozone news, interest rate statements. Now interest rate is very, very important. If they raise the interest, then that currency pair will go up. And if they reduce the interest rate, then that currency pair will go down. The reason being, when the interest rate is high, people invest more money in that product to get more profit. If it's a higher interest rate, they will make more money by buying that currency. If the interest rate goes down, they want to get rid of that currency because it's not going to give them a good yield. That's why that market goes down, the currency goes down, and everybody's selling it. So it's very important, interest rate. And the GDP, trade figures, retail sales, the CPI, and then you have the New Zealand and Australian news. These come late at night for the Europeans and the United Kingdom residents like myself, but for the US traders, it is later in the evening, so you have a nice time to trade with this. So these are the news that you should trade. Okay, now this is now if you wish to buy the news FX strategy, because that is much more detail than what I have explained you, but I have explained you on the basics. Then you can buy it from this site. This is the website. You make a note or take a screenshot of it and make a note. So normally it sells at £197, but only for today, especially for the webinar attendees, I have reduced the price by 50%. So you pay only £97 instead of £197. So you get £100 discount. And here is the page that you can go to. Now make a note of the above link, and then let us proceed to strategy 4. Okay, take a screenshot and then you can go back to it later on. Let's proceed to strategy 4. Now, strategy 4 is to trading with robots. Robots will trade for you. Now, I have recently developed a news trading robot that will place pending buy orders 10 pips above the current candle and pending sell orders 10 pips below the current candle, and you can get the details from this website. Okay, now what happens, this is a straddling EA. This places orders 10 pips or 15 pips or 5 pips, whichever you want. You have an option to choose. I'm going to explain you about the robot a little bit later. Now, what happens? How do we use the robot? You see, if you are trading a pair, you can trade normally, you can trade one or at the most 2 pairs at the time. But with this robot, the advantage is you can trade 7 pairs at the same time. Now, if there is a news about Eurozone, then the main pair will be the euro. Now, with euro, you make the pairs with the 7 different seven other currencies. Like here, I have made the euro US dollar, euro Swiss franc, euro Japanese yen, euro pound, euro CAD, euro Aussie, and euro Kiwi. Okay. Now we set the Z when the news trading robot 1 minute prior to the news. The pending orders are placed 10 pips above and below the open price of the new candle with the stop loss and take profit of whatever you like. You have the option to place your own take profit and stop loss. So I'm going to show you on my chart how it is traded. Okay, I have here now a Euro USD chart with me, and I'm going to place my robot. Unfortunately, the market is closed at the moment, so I can't show you it's working, but I will explain you how you would be trading with the robot. Okay, so the first thing is, supposing we are going to trade the news, the robot is going to trade. The news which comes out is concerning the Eurozone's euro. And what we will do, we will first of all change the chart to 1 minute. This is a 1 minute chart. Okay, and then what we will do, we will bring our robot here, go to common, allow live trading, allow DLL imports, and then go to the input. Now let me explain you about the input. Now in the input, we have so many options. The first option is, do you want to trade in the direction of the trend or you don't want to trade in the direction of the trend. Wherever the market goes, your trade will go that way. Okay. Now, sometimes when you see the market is moving in a trend before the news in that direction, so if the trend is in direction, then just leave this as true. If the trend is not at direction, then make it as false. False. Okay, you will get it false here. Now, if you want to trade in the direction of the trend, then these are the EMAs, moving averages, which show the software and what direction the market is going on. So we have two moving averages, and the slow one is 24, the fast one is 6. So we know which direction the market is going, so we use this. Unless you want to put your own moving averages, it's up to you. You can use this and you can change it if you wish. Then we have to set the time, the date. Now there is the 31st. It's about another half an hour to the new year. The market is closed. Supposing we are trading on the 30th, so we write down the first the year 2, 0, 1 and 3, okay, dot, and the month is the 12th month, so put 12, and then the date is the 30th, 30, okay, and the start time. Now supposing the news is coming out at 8:30, so the news is at 08:30, okay. Now we need to put in our, because what happens when the news comes out at 8:30, there is a big spike, okay, so we don't get enough time and the order may not get filled in, there may be a slippage, so better put in 1 minute before 8:29. Now the stop loss, you can use whatever you like. By default is a micro account, micro lot 0.01, but you can put it as one lot, or if you wish you can put it as 0.1 lot or half a lot. It depends how much you want to put. Now to take profit, by default is 10 pips. You see it 100 because it's a 5-digit broker. That's why you have an extra 0. So 100 means 10 pips, and the take profit 2 is 100 pips. 1000 means 100 pips. So what it will do, it will place 2 orders and for buy and 2 orders for sell. If the trend is false, it will put 2 orders buy and 2 orders sell, okay. And if the trend is set to true, it will place only 2 orders in the direction of the trend, okay. So, and then it will look for the first profit of 10 pips and the second profit of 100 pips. Now you place the stop loss, by default is 50 pips, but you can reduce it to 30 pips. I normally put it 30 pips, 300, okay. And then what you have this NP, that is number of pips for stop orders above or below the current candle. So 100 means 10 pips. So if this candle, supposing this is the news time, let me place a line here. Supposing this is the news time, okay, is 22, okay, 22, let me pick up a better one, okay, 22:30, this is the news time, 22:30. Okay, and we will play 1 minute before the news. So this is where we are going to place our pending order on the open of this candle 1 minute before the news. We will put the time, and the time here is 22:29. That means the news is coming out at 22:30. So 22:29, this is the time. Okay, sorry, I'm in the wrong place. Here it is, 22 and 29, and here we are going to place the, put the date, 2013.12.30. Okay, so this is the date, this is the time, and the lot size you can change it to 0.1 for instance. And then we have here the take profit 10 pips, the second take profit is 100 pips, the stop loss is, I'm going to change it to 30 pips, and then this NP is number of pips above and below. Now if you were to trade, and this one number of pips, so if it is what, if it was at false trend detection, then you will have 10 pips below. This is, supposing this is your open. Okay, I will put it here. This is your open. Okay, now 10 pips above is 1.3756. It's going to be 1.3766. 37563.66, 56, 66, quite up high here, 60. This is a 1 minute chart, that's why I have to go up. There it is. Okay, 66. Okay, this is 10 pips above, and then there's going to be another one 10 pips below here. So 3756 is going to be 3746. 374. There it is. Okay, now so that is what 10 pips above and 10 pips below, it will place pending orders. Okay, let's bring it open, properties. So this is what it was here. Okay, now what happens once it takes 10 pips profit? Okay, the first take profit is here somewhere, 10 pips, and so once it takes the 10 pips profit on the first order, what it does, it brings the stop loss to break even. Okay, so if you want to bring it to the break even, then it will bring it here, or if you don't want to, just leave it as false. At the moment it is true, you can change it if you wish. You have this option. This is the break even, and how much break even you want is 10 pips, so you put 100 here. And then you also have another option, is to place the trailing stop. Now if you put it true, the trailing stop will start working. If you put it false, the trailing stop will not work. Okay, so some people prefer to have no trailing stop so that they can get 100 pips and they do not get stopped out, because if you put in a trailing stop and if the market pulls back, you get stopped out. So some people prefer not to use the trailing stop. Okay, now if you want to use the trailing stop, so what happens, as soon as it reaches 20 pips, but the first one you will get the 10 pips and you're out. The second trade, once you reach 20 pips, the trailing stop will start 10 pips behind. Now, if the market continues going up and up and up, the trailing stop will go with it. In this case, if the market is coming down, the trailing stop will be 10 pips behind it. And then supposing the pending orders do not get filled in, for instance, the news impact wasn't that much, and the market just moved up here and came back and moved up here, and it's just lingering. It didn't fill your order in. So if for 15 minutes it didn't fill your order in, it will automatically remove those pending orders. Now it's up to you. If you want to use less than 15 minutes, you can change it to 10 minutes. Or if you want to make it say 5 minutes, you can change it to 5 minutes. If you want to make it half an hour, change it to 30 minutes. Okay, and these are your magic numbers. So this is how you will trade. Now unfortunately the market is closed, otherwise I would have taken an example trade in front of you. So okay, so this is how the robot works. Okay, now one more thing. Once you set it up, what you do, you right click on your chart and then you go to templates, and then from that template you go to save templates. Okay, now you are trading the news and the pair is euro pair. So what you will do, you will write down, for example, you are trading the news in EWS and then underscore, and then you write down euro, EUR. So it's the euro news, and then click save. Okay, now this is the first pair. Now open the second euro pair, go to new charts and go to USD Swiss franc. Okay, and bring it to 1 minute, then right click and go to templates. You have saved here news euro, news and euro. This is what we saved, news euro. Okay, so you click on that and you will get the robot is also attached to it automatically. Okay, now if you would look at the properties, you will find it is already all set. It's true, 24/6, that's the date, that's the time, 29 minutes past, there's your stop, your lot size, take profit 1, take profit 2, and your stop loss, and 10 pips above and below, and your maximum. Okay, one more thing here, it has maximum spread, which I put in by default is 10, but if you want, you can put it like 5. So you don't want to trade any pair where the broker has increased his spread. In that case, it will not pick up the trades. It will not put in any pending orders if the broker's spread is more than 5 pips. Okay, so this is another advantage you have on it. Okay, and then everything is the same, and remove pending order, say after 5 minutes. Okay, and that's it, and click OK. That's it. So this is the second pair, and what you can do, you can go to new charts and go to this one, and then here you have USD, Euro, USD. Okay, and go to template, go to news, Euro news, this one. Okay, and like that you get 7 different pairs you will make, and then let it trade for you. Okay, now for you, what I've done is given you a 20% discount if you want to buy this robot today. And the Z-Winner News trading robot is priced at £97 per month subscription. But for the webinar attendees, I have made a special discount of 20%. So it's only £77 per month. You pay the monthly subscription fees from the earnings of the robot. The robot will earn you money. You don't have to pay any money from your own pocket. It will earn you money, and from that money, you can pay for the second month of subscription. And remember, only today you can get it 20% discount. And this is the link. So scan the page. Sorry, I mean take the screenshot and go to this website, and then you can subscribe from there with 20% discount. Okay, it was nice being with you, and I hope you're going to have many profitable trades as from next week. Okay, so take care everybody. Thanks for watching, and keep me informed about your progress. Thank you. Bye bye.